sorcery speed, that's nice. Bro, do you really know how it works? Like, sure, I will take it. Not sure if he realized what exactly is going on here. Hello everyone, it's Sloth and today we are back to Golgari, and actually we are using some really cool cards today. Junji, card that was forgotten. Maybe it's time for shining for this card, because it's really good when you need to sacrifice it, especially if the Titan of Industry is in your graveyard. So you already see what the idea for the deck is. Don't get it fool you, it is mostly black. We only have 5 green cards basically. However, the deck plays entirely differently, because we don't really have the Invoke Despairs. We don't play like this. What more, we have Cruelty of Gix, and we rely heavily on Junji and creatures that are pretty heavy to remove with the Invoke Despair. So even if we play Junji, your opponent, of course, top decks the Invoke Despair. You still get a creature. You get some damage, he draws cards, it's still not optimal, but if you have Titan in the graveyard, he suddenly summons a 7-drop after he invested 5 mana to remove your 5-drop. And that's a really good deal. So with this deck you have quite a lot of options, and we are a bit teched into, you know, countering mono-black players. So going through the deck from the start, we actually play Duress main deck. One of the reasons is that we also play Liliana. So if that is the matchup that you don't really want Duress, you can just discard it at some point. So it hurts sometimes, but usually you hit something with it, and it's mostly to counter Invoke Despairs. And for this reason, to not whiff too much, we have 2 Duress and 1 Pilfer. So even against creature decks that sometimes happen, and they will happen in this video even, you can actually just discard, you know, at least 1 card with them and just go for Liliana. It's actually kinda good to have some kind of fodder when you play Liliana, because that just doesn't hurt you at all, and you just see this juicy card from your opponent just was dropped. Oh my god, that was a hard sentence. So with that being said, of course we have the package for removal. We have double cut down, double Infernal Grasp. I was also considering 3 Infernal Grasp, but we are really heavy on the paying life here, because the Cruelty of Gix is heavy on your life total, so you generally don't want to overdo it. So even March could be considered instead of 1 cut down, but it's good for opening, especially that you run Liliana. So you really want to make sure that the board is empty of small little annoying creatures when you play her, because you definitely want his highest mana drop to be the only drop in the board, so you can remove it. If there's this one annoying token or 1/1 creature, suddenly Liliana won't remove a Trespasser or whatever. So cut down, I think, is pretty important in this build. We have Tear Asunder, extremely good against Tenacious Underdog, Wedding Announcement. It's basically like a Destroy Evil, just in a green version. A very versatile card, and with the amount of artifact and enchantments, you usually very easily find the target. Sometimes it's actually a better removal. If they play Wedding Announcement and you counter with this, you are extremely happy, because they got 0 value from the card that always gets value. So this is one of the few perfect responses even. We have 4 Underdogs, 3 Trespassers, and the reason for this, that we play this mono-black package, is that for this deck to survive until the fun part, we need some, you know, mid-game meat, something strong and something versatile, because on one side we want to draw cards with the Underdog. Sometimes this deck will be in the top deck mode, so, and you have a lot of value, but sometimes you will have this space between, you know, drawing Cruelty, Titan, Junji, and you need just this 1-2 extra cards, and Underdog will give it to you while still giving some board presence. So for this reason we need this, and of course Trespasser. As you can see, we don't really have a lot of ways to exile targets. We have Tear Asunder, of course, so that's something. We have 1 soul transfer, and in the worst case we can get the creature back on our side. Of course, when it dies, it goes back to the graveyard, whatever. So this is why we want Trespasser, and the very big reason for this card it's really overstated in a way. Yeah, it's only 3-3, but it can go to 4-4, and if you play it smart, you can flip it, when you need it. And the word means that you are getting card advantage that goes really, really well with Liliana, especially that you can seem like a more of a control deck, so sometimes they don't value their removals as much as they should. And when Junji and Titan hits the board, they already discarded all their Infernal Grasp and things like this. Sure, that can also be a huge problem. So, word definitely helps. I guess we are heavy on the creatures, so they should expect it, but to be fair, nobody expects Junji, and you will see today, some people in Mythic don't seem to know what this card does. Like, if you kill it, then you see the effect that is written on the card, and then you scoop. I think something in your plan wasn't perfect. So definitely some surprise factor, from the card that nobody seems to read. All right, so with that being said, let's go into the main part. Sure that it's just a good card and good something to its removal in the mid game, give you some life gain, and it's one of the few ways we can heal if we get too low with the cruelties. And we play a lot of them. We play 4 Cruelty of Gix because first of all, we want to hit them. Second of all, we can start chaining them, especially if you go for chapter 1, you can just keep chaining them because by then you know exactly what your opponent has in the hand. Do you have creature and planewalker targets? Do you need some specific cards? So, this is your way to get value in the deck. Because except Tenacious Underdog, you don't really have like a cardo in the deck. So for this reason, chaining cruelties is your cardo in case you are in top deck mode and you just need something to play. If you play it for chapter 2 and then get another cruelty and play another cruelty and the previous one already gets you a creature from a graveyard and you can do it over again, very often with this deck I have noticed that you are at 20 HP. Of course, there are different scenarios, but it seems to be pretty defensive, and very often you are completely unscathed for the most of the game, and then you can turn this life into card advantage. So that's why we play it, and it works pretty well from my experience. And Junji, man, this card is actually the deal breaker. The fact that whenever it dies, you just need to make sure that you have Titan, and this is why we play Liliana in the deck. Because I wanted some way without Fable. I don't like Fable, okay? You can also go with the version of this deck with Fable, and basically the only red card will be Fable. But I don't want to splash, and I know I have the Ziatora. But I went with Liliana because I think, first of all, she's more interesting in the deck, and second, Fable cannot remove creatures, Liliana can, and in many games this will actually be a huge difference. Liliana can go around all the wards. Basically, a huge part of Liliana role is killing Trespassers, because she absolutely wrecks them. This is one of the few cards that can remove Trespasser with card advantage, because you have Planewalker and they got nothing. So it's 2-for-1 for you instead of usual 2-for-1 for the Trespasser owner. It's hard to find removals so efficient as this. There's also Raffine, things like this. Fable cannot deal with them so easily. And Liliana can destroy their hand as well. And this very often comes into play because you have underdogs to discard, you have Titan to discard. Just be careful. Don't do those things if you aren't sure your opponent does not have Trespasser that he's hiding in the hand. So definitely if you aren't sure and you are playing against mono black, just maybe discard on the turn when you plan to play the Cruelty and Reanimate. I usually want to be on the safe side and just reanimate it so they cannot interrupt you in any way. And exiling Graveyard is usually sorcery in form of Trespasser. So definitely with Liliana you can get back a Titan into your graveyard, and then Junji becomes extremely powerful because it's basically a 12 drop for 5 mana. And you will see in some of the games it absolutely outvalues opponent if he doesn't have a perfect answer, and there's not many exile effects. So right now, even if he casts Invoke Despair, he's left suddenly with you having a Titan with the Rhino gaining 5 life and attacking him for 11 damage next turn after he removed your board. that's a big one. That's not how they want to play Invoke Despair. And also, just be mindful of Invoke Despair. If you cast it for chapter 1, you don't hit anything, and the answer with Invoke Despair, you get absolutely wrecked, so don't do it. Always assume that you will get invoked. Alright, this is the deck. About the results, we went exactly 50%, and I'm proud to say we actually never lost to Mono Black with this deck. We won all the Mono Black matchups, which is something I would not expect, because we removed basically the best card of Mono Black. And it seems that we actually did it. So definitely amazing results. And on the overall we are at 50% win rate. So in 8 games we won 4, we lost 4. That's pretty good. I'm proud. I thought it will go worse. So I'm pretty proud of this, and I think that Junji might have a better role than we expect. I was really happy with this card, and it seems to always go for a lot of value in this deck at least. So definitely try it out if you like the deck. If you like Golgari, we will do Golgari quite a lot. Don't forget to subscribe. We get to make a deck every single day, and that's fun and that's cool. So best marketing pitch ever. Anyway, if you like the decks, don't forget to subscribe, and I really hope you will enjoy the games. I think they were dope. If you heard Invoke Despair too many times from my side, tell me in the comments and I will start to stop ranting on this card. So thank you and enjoy the video. Alright, so we have Liliana and we are on the play. That's enough for me to take the opening hand. And we are against Sneaky Mike. Mike, show me how sneaky you are. Are you so sneaky you play mono black with black sleeves? I think the elephant is the sneaky part. Alright, so we definitely go like this. And unfortunately our opponent sees the priority, but he might think it's a march. Okay, now we know everything. Perfect. Perfect. We remove this one because this one can attack. This one has no haste. And we did it so our opponent might think the situation is different than it really is. And also we want to remove it. He needs to lose a non-skeleton creature, right? Yeah, so right now nothing will die. Sneaky Mike. Sneaky Mike. Alright, so now I have a little bit of issue with this one. Not sure. Liliana seems to be okay fit. If we are going for the card... Oh, don't mind if I do. So, unfortunately, we need to go a little bit all in. And let's show our opponent what exactly is going on the other side. Oh yes, you know what's coming. Unfortunately, he might get rid of Junji, but we had to do it just because of the -2. And right now he cannot -2 the Junji because the Titan will come, and that's not really what you want. Adversary is not great. And he still has the card, so if he wants to +1, he needs to risk his own card, and he also sees that you don't really want to discard Reanimator deck. I guess he doesn't care at all. Wow, that's some dedicated play. Alright, I think we got this. Let's just think how we should play it. I think we played this and Cruelty, right? Do we go for the full value? Honestly, full value is not bad. We don't discard anything, but we protect our next card. Or we just go for Junji and hope for the top deck. If he kills Junji, I guess it's good. I guess it's good enough. And... what? Okay, I thought it's not highlighted. I got so scared right now. We can also even take the Tainted Adversary if we really cared. We cannot go for chapter 2, because when we get the card we cannot play it and he will just discard it. So it's either first, that is super slow, and he has time to Trespasser and stuff like this. So not really what we... No. I have better cards, man. I have better cards. Do we go for Junji into Titan or directly into Titan? Honestly, Junji is better. In this situation, because Junji means Titan later, basically. Like, he needs to kill it. Sure. Return. Oh, you don't play it at sorcerer speed. That's nice. Bro, do you really know how it works? Like, sure, I will take it. Not sure if he realized what exactly is going on here. So we take the shield in case he drew a removal. And right now we go with the trample. He can block here, of course. I think we attack first. We definitely need to ensure that Liliana dies because she's super annoying. He might go for the shield counter, but that's not the worst. That's not the worst. The creature that dies needs to be on his side, right? From under your control. That's pretty important part. Let's see, we might hit something cheap. Okay. I see. So we need at least 2 draws, but we don't need them. It's weird because he did his plan and obviously he's not happy with the result. So I think he just wasn't really aware that Junji will bring back the Titan. Alright, we are going first with pretty decent hand. So we have a lot of tap lands, but with cut down we can curve out pretty nicely overall. Yeah, we will see what we play against. What a joke. Of course we know what we play against. Liliana, definitely. So I guess we can take her with Soul Transfer. Bro, Liliana, easy. Go next. Alright, so we can cut down his 2-drop if he has Tenacious Underdog, but now he knows about it. There's also argument to... yeah, I think he just knows that it's not the best call. We will cycle this. We are getting a little bit flooded. Sure. Let's see if he hits another duress. Nope. Okay, sure. Oh, that's some nice lands. Alright, so how do we do it? This can be Sheoldred. This can be Sheoldred. How much are we scared about it? I'm kinda scared. Oh man, Liliana doesn't seem super great here. I think we just go for the Cruelty. I really want to slow him down, and if he will see that we don't have that we have removal, I think he won't play Sheoldred. Invoke Despair is a pain though, so we need to take it. But as long as he doesn't chain them, you know, 3 in a row, we can sneak the Cruelty. Like, I know they always draw them in pairs or in triplets, but theoretically after they play Invoke Despair, they shouldn't have another for like 5-7 turns. Alright, that's interesting. I think they might not realize what they're playing against. This will get invoked, most likely. So how do we exactly play around it? I don't think there's any good target. So this might be the answer. But we are greedy, aren't we? Nah, we need to play like this. Because this will not go to next chapter. I'm pretty sure about it. And I think the Cruelty will be the best choice here. So, you know, we get to change some value. We will get very low on the HP though. Very quickly. So let's prepare for Invoke. It's only 2 cards for him. And I think that he might not have an... Oh my god. Are you not a good mono-black player and you don't have Invoke? Oh, that's not great, my friend. Alright, so he definitely wants to cycle a lot of stuff. So maybe I should be more optimistic. I did not think he might whiff on the whole thing. Alright, so let's go. Let's just check, I guess. At least we go card for card. Yeah, if they didn't cast it, there's most likely no Invoke Despair, so... Oh my... Tell me it's random. It's random. Oh my freaking god. You play around this freaking card. You check them for this freaking card. And then when you do this one single turn, between duress by the way, they just stop deck. On the one draw they needed really. Oh my god. Okay, Sloth, everything will be fine. Everything will be so fine. You know what? Just to not... Oh my god, of course. Just get away with this crap from me. Oh my god, I'm so triggered. I really am. We can go for Titan next turn. So I think we'll take... Like, is Liliana good enough? Oh, it's our? Oh, it's my graveyard. Nah, my graveyard sucks. I forgot it's not Junji. Yeah, I got you a bit spoiled with the targeting. Alright, so he's checking the graveyard. Probably means Trespasser, I guess? Or oh no, Takenuma. So he has Takenuma in hand. So he was evaluating how important it is to cast it at the end step. Liliana. Alright, alright. We definitely have a lot of cards to discard, so it's not the biggest deal, and we can remove her. Sure. He knows about the cut down, so that's interesting decision. He will go for Meathook. What? Alright. I'm definitely listening. I mean... we definitely should go like this. You know, even though we have Liliana ourselves, we just don't want to give him the control. We also don't want to switch it to nighttime so he can cycle the Meathook. He will, but manually. Man, this Invoke Despair, that was ridiculous. This was the only turn after we played around it. We checked it. We even checked his hand for this card. And we were sure that it's not there. And then, suddenly, guess what? Invoke Despair from the top. Oh man. It's fine. It's super fine. Alright, so we definitely go for this. He can remove Liliana, but it will be a 2-for-1. So he burned his Invoke Despair. So we duressed one of them, so that's a lot of value on our side. And I guess we don't use Tenacious Underdog for now. Yeah, we definitely want the recurring value. It will hurt if he casts the Meathook Massacre. Oh my god! The Despair was invoked. That's the third one. Third one in top 25 cards. This one he should draw between the 30 card and 15 in the last of the deck. And he always draws more of them. Every freaking time. Oh my god. So, we definitely don't get the Titan. Alright. Let's get rid of this annoying Celestus because he drew like 50 cards with this. Or even 61. Yeah, sure. But we still get some value. I guess he can go for the Meathook, which he wants anyway. So this Infernal Grasp was actually really good for him. But you know, that's normal, that's fair. The third Invoke wasn't though. Oh my god, like I hate this card more and more. Like we got this guy, I think. We got him to very low cards. Unless he started hitting all the Invoke Despairs. We can still do it, I think. But Meathook will hurt. You know what? We want Tenacious Underdog anyway, so we don't super care. The problem is our HP. It's really low. Not gonna lie. So we definitely need to go pretty hard on him. And with Meathook Massacre, it won't be easy. Titan is really good draw here. You know, not the third Invoke one, but it's still good. I think he should go for Meathook for like 4. Alright. So he really wants to get rid of the Tenacious Underdog. We'll see if that works for him. He has what, 6, 7, 8? Of course, he will for sure draw the last land, you will see. You will see. First, let's Smork. So, we have to do it like... We definitely want the Rhino. So if he attacks, he loses the Trespasser. That's already 2 damage. We will be at 2. I don't think we have luxury. If he attacks, we cannot block with the Titan. I guess we can block with the Rhino because it dies anyway. To Meathook. If he draws. I mean, yeah, I guess. Pretty hard one, pretty hard one. I probably should have played the land, so my black mana is up. Because if I play it now, I only have the forest, because the tapper didn't have a choice moment he played the Titan. Very small problem and small mistake, but it might make a difference if he draws like Tenacious Underdog. The wounds from the Invoke Despair are still there. Like, I will be scarred for my whole life with this one. Of course, Infernal Grasp from the top. Alright. Oh, sure. Oh man, I thought it's just a main phase trigger, so I went into combat phase faster than I really wanted. That's bad. That's really bad. So now I need to play differently. That's not really what I wanted. We would definitely blitz this one, but for now we just have to play it like this then. Alright, so let's see. This is a really good Meathook Massacre, so I really think he will just play it. And then we are in huge trouble. We need to top deck as good as he did. Which I don't think will happen. Oh my god, this one Invoke and the third one, just in case. Yeah, okay, I won't rant about Invoke Despair in this game. It will happen in the other games, but not for this one. So this is a lot of damage. This also means, most likely, that's interesting. There weren't creatures? Bro, you know you can exile your own. That's so bad. Oh my god, we will lose to this guy. So this will be a Meathook, so we definitely want to get rid of stuff. Yeah, it doesn't make a difference, I think, how we do it. I wanted to lose both creatures, but there's no choice. Yeah, we won't get anything done here. Alright, that's fair. Like, this is just the aftermatch. We lost at the moment when he cast the third Invoke, and yeah, he drew way too good. Let's go for the Underdog, of course. Oh my god, it's Cruelty is one turn too late. Like, we can kill Sheoldred, but we cannot kill him, right? You know what? Wait. We play this, we go to 1. He has no creatures. Maybe there's a chance. You know what? Maybe there's a chance. Man, this is the most risky play I have ever done, but I think this is the play. We cannot take Titan. Titan is not the place. You know what? Oh, yes, we have the mana for Liliana. We can just go for Liliana. She's actually way better. Alright. You know what? If we win this, that's actually crazy. Like, he doesn't have creatures and doesn't have planewalkers. Do you think he will top deck the last Invoke? What are the chances? We can also use the Underdog once. Unless he plays Meathook. Well, I guess we can still do it. Let's see this Invoke. Oh my god, he finally whiffed. Well, how's the game without Invoke Disperse, my friend? We get a Titan. And I think we win this game somehow, right? Oh, he exiled it. But I will take the Sheoldred. And this is daytime. Is Sheoldred better? This is... Oh my god, he actually just left the game. How can you lose with this draw? Oh my god. Oh, well, that's enough for today. Oh my god, what a game. We actually won this. I cannot believe. Alright, our opponent goes first. Our draw is okay. It's not perfect, it's not the worst. It's somewhere in the middle. And right now Duress does not look great. Alright, so we start with the tap land of course. Then we follow with Swamp. We probably play Underdog, then Trespasser and remove his biggest drop. This is scary. This is scary. This might be one of the few cards that actually makes me hold the removal. Is this a 4-4 with the haste? It might be a 4-4 with the haste. Tenacious Underdog doesn't trade perfectly here. You know what, but it will be okay. This will grow. I'm pretty sure he will cast a 4-drop, so this will be a 3-2, this will be a 4-4, this will be a 1-3. Tapped. So we trade here, and then we hope that he doesn't have a perfect follow-up. That's so sus. With open mana? Okay, you got me. You got me. I chickened out. I think they might have Tamiyo safekeeping. They might be just really smart and maybe we got bluffed. I wouldn't really be surprised. We could check their hands, but I don't suspect anything that is not a creature. So let's just go with the Trespasser, especially that we can hold the Infernal Grasp at their turn. So we can basically have a 4-4. And we can start a little bit racing them, you know? And we keep building lands for Junji. Junji will be a very big deal here, if we get to this point. So this is super scary turn. We are tapped out, we played nearly everything and we have no interruption and our opponent has 6 mana. Defiler. Let's see if he has more cards. If that's the only one, I'm not super scared. I will play the Forest just to mess with him, because he might check them for Invoke Despairs, and with Forest it's a bit less likely. With Swamp it's pretty obvious that we have Invoke Despairs. Alright, so we need to Meathook for 3. It means that we have to do it next turn. So what you want to do, you want to maximize the Trespasser, and suddenly you also force him to tap mana on his turn if he has anything. Now you can draw. Alright. And this way we flipped, and we still play the spell basically. And given his creature deck, he cannot do anything in response. The only card that might be here as a non-creature is Tamiyo safekeeping. Prowler is acceptable. It also means that our Trespasser will survive the Meathook, which is really big deal. I mean, really big deal. He just went absolutely all in. We are at 50. Alright. He double spelled though. He double spelled. He does have the Coven. That's pretty brutal. I don't really want to sweep only my board. It's scary because he can ramp out of the 3 toughness on a lot of creatures. And then we look really stupid. If we attack with Underdog, he might be smart and not block with the Prowler. Oh man, do we bait? I think he just takes the damage and we don't gain anything basically. Very scary, and I think our opponent plays very well this one, which makes it much harder. Alright, but at least we got a trade. Will he go for Prowler? If he goes, I just sweep the board, and we probably win the game. So it's a very interesting decision. I would probably just take 3 damage. It's not a lot. Alright. Alright, so we have some creatures in the graveyard, right? So Junji can be considered activated. He goes for Coven. He has what? 4, 5, 6 mana. There's some chance that we can... You know what? I think it's okay. There's high chance that we will draw a land, and there's high chance he won't go above 3 toughness. And if he doesn't, those additional cards do not matter at all. So far it seems like this, because he has only 3 mana. Oh, that's perfect. So, after consideration, that was my idea. Stomper is annoying. Stomper is the only card that mattered here. That's unfortunate, but at least it cannot attack. We can just get land. Oh my god, not the tap land! The punishment! Oh man, the punishment is real. Alright, how do we do it? How do we do it? If he plays like this, he assumed we have the Meathook. We have to do it this turn. So it means there's no choice really. And we need to attack with everything, I think. Yeah, let's go aggressive. Who has the better creature? Like, he has the better creature, but our can go back, like, theoretically, and it's not much worse, so... Yeah, he's playing it very well. Like, slow clap, my friend. Riza, well played. Never mind. Scrap that. Oh, he went for the greed. Oh, the ultimate downfall. Yep. That was a tapland, my friend. And you just gave us the best Meathook ever. Oh. Oh, that feels so good. Trigger, 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 trigger. It was so close. I thought he won't go for it. Like, he doubted himself. He thought that we have Meathook, and then he just changed his mind. So while he can go with the gorilla, I guess, we can go with Tenacious Underdog. And I think we can kill him before. And we will play Duress. No reason not to. He will probably block the Underdog. And that means that we get card a bit earlier. So it's CGB mono-green deck, right? So they have a lot of stuff that can go ballistic. So we need to be sure to, you know, answer those things. I think he has 2 removals in the deck. I think CGB only played 2 removal. Like 2 different removals for like 1-2 mana. There is a chance he has one. Small chance, but it is possible. And we don't have anything to do with the mana, so no. We don't care. He will heal a lot of HP though. So we probably need to go into Titan of Industry, so that was one of the reasons for Underdog to just draw lands for the Titan. So the Elder might bring him back, because we definitely wanted to raise him, and suddenly there's nothing to raise because he healed 8. And he can counter pressure better than we can. So I think that Junji has to be the play. Not sure what we take though. Alright, that's a strong one. That's a strong one. So, even if he top decks a creature, it's still not perfect, you know? We can get him to 7 and possibly kill him next turn. So the play will definitely... Alright, it will be Rhino, but what do we go for? Both choices make a lot of sense. So he can attack for what? This doesn't do anything. It can kill the Meathook, that's something we need to remember. So it's 9 damage plus 6, so 15 damage. We can carp quite a lot, so he can deal only 6. Only 6. He cannot really kill anything, you know. So if he attacks with everything, we block here with the Titan, here with the Junji, and here with the Rhino. Like, I don't think we need a shield too much. Let's just get like this. That's pretty greedy, but I think we can afford it. Also, we can try to kill our own Junji. We can play this Junji and make him lose 2 life. And that might be enough. That's the best draw of his deck, because suddenly he has infinity cards off top of his deck. So that was the best draw of his deck, and we also already removed 2 of them, and he just drew 2 next one out of the top. That was 1 card that he had to come back with this game. Oh my god, that's so annoying. Any other creature would be so much worse. He just drew the perfect one. And look at this. Look at freaking this. He just in case drew the 4 of them in top 22 cards. Because we could cut down the other ones. So that was exactly how much he needed to come back into the game. Oh my god, I'm so triggered. We had this game. We absolutely had this game this turn. But this is the only top deck that completely saved him. Oh my god, that's so annoying. This is also the only draw engine I believe the deck has. So how do we play around such a perfect top deck? Is it even possible? If I knew that his draw would be so great, I would go for the shield counter. That wasn't, you know, something you should play around, but I guess I have to. Oh my god, I'm so mad. I'm so mad after this top deck. He had to even get 2, just to make sure that next time he can continue with 7 creatures. So basically with this top deck we cannot ever raise him. And the game was close this turn, because he normally would have to chomp block just to not die. Alright, fair, but it's 2 for 1, so that's something. But of course we want the Augur. Especially that we cannot kill any of them. But that's the correct choice, so there's not much to say here. I guess we need to try to do some Trespasser shenanigans. But oh, you know what? Okay, I just thought how we can circumvent his perfect top decks, maybe, with our super skillful gameplay. Man, I always hate this when you need to play twice as good just to, you know, counter the perfect top deck that your own opponent had. But we have options. However, it will be still super hard. Man, he had to draw 2 of them, just in case. If he didn't, I think it would be so much easier. So we need to get a Titan again. And sorry if I'm a bit too salty, but he literally drew the perfect 2 cards of his deck, and he already got 2 of them. So the chances that 2 of them are in the next 2 or 3 cards are just astronomically small. That should not happen. Alright. So in that case we need to go for shield counters. Maybe he will draw the 5th one. And we go for the Titan. Man, cut down does not matter at all here. Oh my god, so annoying. So annoying. So we need to keep the cut down, just in case he uses it as a blocker. Yes, just to be sure, right now when he has a white board, let's just make sure that, you know, he can pump them to oblivion so they can block the Titan. And of course here. Oh my god, this game was so ours. So ours. I don't think we can beat his top decks, guys. Like, he's absolute legend of top decking. He had nothing. He had an ape that did nothing. And suddenly he's playing 5 creatures a turn, because he drew 4 of the key cards. Those are the only cards in his deck that draw cards. Other of the deck is basically 1 for 1, but this is exactly the only engine that gives him value in the whole deck. If I recall the deck exactly. Oh, I'm so annoyed. He even got the Ramper, so when we finally tried to make a second Titan, it cannot go through because he just got the buffer in the another perfect turn. Like, I don't think you can beat deck like with such draws. And we got a Forest. That was not a good game. I'm salty. I'm so salty that, oh my god, I need to play another one. Alright, we are going first. With pretty honestly good opening. When you see Trespasser and Liliana, you probably answer a lot of threats. And with Soul Transfer we can make some plays. Oh, Junji. Junji is here. It's much better. I'll make a stop. It's always good to pretend in Infernal Grasp. Alright, no plays. That's super sus. Is my opponent checking me for priority? I didn't meet it since a long time. So this will be Infernal Grasp, right? still, even if we play into it, Ward is worth it. Especially if with Soul Transfer and Cruelty. Like, this is not really the card that you want to Infernal Grasp, especially that you need both lands and stuff, like, it still hurts. And my big point is that I didn't want to play Liliana, because she kinda does nothing. And look, we are on the play, and our opponent is basically equal with us, which is pretty sweet. Alright. Do we have good cards to discard? So we have 2 plays. But I think Liliana right now is better if they don't follow up with anything. That's acceptable. And we can go for Infernal Grasp, even though it's really good card. Because our opponent doesn't have a lot, and we have Soul Transfer. I really want to dump Junji next turn and get it back, or just maybe play it. Like, even land hurts them, because you can see they need everything. And they will be short on everything very quickly. I guess we don't have instants, so sure, that does not matter. That's a really good card to discard. Alright, and we are kinda getting pretty close to ultimate. That was a good one. And you know what? Removal is nice, but if we get the land, we know exactly what we do. But if we don't, we need to have some plays. Like, we need to make sure that we can play something. There's high chance of Invoke Despair. Okay, that's fine. Oh, he wants to go all in. Huh. So let's go risky. Let's go risky. And it paid out. So we have 2 ways to play it out. What are the creatures in the graveyard? Trespasser. Trespasser is pretty good. I don't really want to discard anything, to be honest. So do we go for Cruelty? If the answer with Invoke Despair, that's really bad. We could reanimate Junji. It's not really good. If we play this, they have very easy removal. So I think this has to be the play. Alright, and we know exactly what he has, which helps a lot. So Infernal Grasp doesn't do anything. But you know what? They only have 1 top deck. The reason I've done it is now we threaten the ultimate. And they needed to top deck Invoke Despair. And right now, we have everything, and they don't have anything. We can even chain those. We are at 21. How many creatures? Yeah, we have multiple creatures. So I will just keep chaining them to get basically infinite value. And they know they cannot beat it. So we basically go chapter 2 into chapter 2, and every turn we get 1 creature from the graveyard. They couldn't just handle it, and the ultimate is just nailing the coffin.